what's happening, everybody? How are you today? I hope you're good. I'm Miss Adaria, and this is Story Time at the Bridgeton Library. Whoop, whoop. Today we are going to read about flamingos, because they're such an interesting bird, aren't they? I mean, what other bird do you know that's pink with a yellow eye and a black and white beak? I don't know. This story is going out to Miss Carol, who works here at the library, because she loves flamingos. So we're going to dedicate the story time to you, Miss Carol, and hope you feel better. Flamingos! And she's just as unique as a flamingo, I tell you. Okay. This book is all about flamingos. I mean, you're going to learn so much. I hope you're ready. You can even take notes if you want to. There will be a test. No, there won't. Flamingos are very tall birds. They live by warm, salty water. They form big flocks. Do you know what a flock is? A flock is a bunch of birds, like a big family of birds. Not that they're all related, but they all migrate together and hang out together and eat together and sleep together because there's safety in numbers, or there's safety in flocks. We love flamingos. Most flamingos are pink, but they can be orange or red too. Flamingo wings have black feathers. And pink feathers too, right? Look at that beautiful bird. He's showing you his feathers. He's probably grooming his feathers, which means cleaning them. They have to clean their feathers to keep them waterproof. Flamingos have long necks. Their bills are bent. Do you see that? Their bills are what we would call our mouth. It's kind of like their nose and their mouth combined. Look how beautiful that is. And the way their necks curve, like an S. That looks like an S, doesn't it? They only stand on one thin leg to rest. I've seen that in other birds. I've seen geese sleeping on one leg and ducks. I wonder why they do that. I have no idea. Every time I ask them, they never answer me. A flamingo turns its head upside down to eat. So see, when its head is upside down, its mouth is shaped like a scoop. They can skim their bill back and forth. It catches shrimp. See this little shrimp? And it also eats algae too. Do you know what algae is? They're plants that grow under the water. So he's having a complete meal with shrimp and algae. Get some vegetables, some green vegetables in there. A chick is a baby flamingo. Look at the baby flamingo. Oh my goodness. Look at that puffy little flamingo. It comes out of an egg. And look at standing right between its mama's legs. And look at the color of its mom's legs. I would love to have pink legs. That is just so awesome. And do you see the little baby's legs too? They're pink as well. And the bill is pink too, but they're little fluffy gray and white little birdies. The chick is gray and fluffy. Its parents take care of it. You see the little chick poking out there? I thought I heard a flamingo outside. Right here in Bridgeton. I must have escaped from the zoo. Flamingos run across the water. They flap their wings and fly into the air. Wow, look at that. That must be a beautiful sight to see that many flamingos take off and fly up into the air all at once. You can see that they're not all pink. They're pink and a little bit white and maybe darker pink and red and black. And those legs are just really striking. We love flamingos. Oh, goodbye, flamingos. Look, the flamingo's sleeping. Now this one is definitely red, don't you think? You can see, shut his eye and... I don't know if you can see this part, but it has a tiny, tiny little row of teeth. I guess when they're swooshing their head side to side under the water, they'll use the teeth to catch some of the food. Okay, now here is different parts of the flamingo. We've got the feathers, the neck and the legs. We've got the wings and the ankle and the feet. You see where their ankle is? It almost looks like a backwards knee. And then on the flamingo's head, we have an eye and a bill, which again is that nose and mouth part. I think that's so funny that that's its ankle. I mean, our ankle is pretty close to our feet, but their ankle is halfway up their leg. I guess that means that they don't have knees. Now, that's a good trivia question. If anybody asks you, does a flamingo have knees? And you could say, no, but they have ankles. Okay, so these are some words for you to know. Algae are groups of plants that do not have leaves or stems, and they grow in the water. Bills are beaks or parts of the bird's faces that stick out. Feathers are parts of a bird's body that grow out of its skin. So instead of hair, they have feathers. And flocks are large groups of birds that live together. So I hope you learned something today about flamingos, and it's everything that you want to know about this way cool bird. A very unique and beautiful creature. And I hope one day you get to see a flamingo in person. So stay tuned because we're going to do a really cool flamingo craft, and then you can have a little flamingo of your own. Thanks for tuning in, and please subscribe. See you next time. What's happening, people? It's your friend, Miss Adaria. Ooh, with the hands in the striped shirt. Whoa. So what are we doing today? Everything is very pink. Can you tell? I don't really know what's happening, but I'm glad to be here. And we are going to make a flamingo. What? Remember we read that wonderful story about flamingos today? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And so what you'll need is these lovely pipe cleaners. I've got 2 pink pipe cleaners. They're going to be the Flamingos Legs. I've got a paper plate that I painted pink and it allowed to dry overnight. I didn't need overnight, but I did it yesterday. And what I did for this, to get this particular pink color, is I mixed magenta and white until I got a color that I liked. And I like this. I probably could have done red and white and gotten some sort of pink also. But I really like the fact that I had some magenta paint on hand. And I have a Sharpie that's kind of in the pink fuchsia family. And I have a black Sharpie too, because flamingos' bills are half white and half black, right? And what else do we need? Oh, and to draw is her neck. I have this piece of pink paper. If you don't have thick paper like this, you can use just a regular piece of pink construction paper, and that'll work fine. So just want you to know that a flamingo's neck and their head are just about as long as their legs. And usually they hold their head and neck in an S position. So if you know how to draw an S that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to draw an S, right? And it's a little thicker at the bottom because it's attached to their body. Here, let me just make sure that you can see this. Let me push this up a little bit. It's a little thicker at the bottom because it's going to be attached to their body. And then it gets a little bit thinner around the curves. And then it gets a little bit thicker because here is her head. So start making her head a little bigger. And then she has this wonderful beak that comes up to the eye. We'll just put an eye there for a second. They have a pretty big eye. And then the beak comes off the top here, and it kind of folds down a little bit, like that. And they have a nose that's kind of a little bit down the beak, so we'll put the nose right there. And their mouth starts before their nose, and it comes down like that. And they have all these little rows of teeth right here so that they can eat their food. And speaking of food, do you have any idea why flamingos are pink or red or anywhere in between those two color combinations? I don't know if we talked about it when I was reading the story, but the reason why flamingos are pink is because of what they eat. They eat mostly shrimp, and the shrimp that they eat are pink. So because they eat so much shrimp, it kind of turns their feathers pink color. And isn't that an interesting fact? Oh yeah. I'm just going to make her head a little bit longer down here, her neck rather, excuse me, where it's going to attach to the body, which looks mysteriously like a paper plate, but it's going to definitely look like a flamingo body when we get through with this. So now I'm trying to think, because it's pink, we don't really have to color it in too much. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color half of her beak, the lower half of her beak, black. I don't know if you could see that right there, but you see how the lower half is black? Now I do not have an explanation for that, a scientific explanation. I have no idea why that is. It's just how it is. So I'm going to come in here and color that little beak with the Sharpie that we have. And it's really starting to look like a flamingo, don't you think? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe just to give her an outline and to get rid of that pencil mark, we'll go over this line with this color Sharpie that I have. And it'll also make it easier to cut out, probably. Just follow the line, follow the line, follow the line all the way down. And then follow the line. And then this will give it some shape and some form. Oh, I went over the line, but you know what? It's okay because we can erase the little pencil marks that I made. Okay. Come in and give that little definition. Give her nose a little definition. That's the top of her beak right here. And here is the eye. The all-important eye. Aye, aye, Captain. All right, so there is your flamingo shape. What do you think about that? Ooh, okay. Yes, it's coming along, Miss Adaria. Oh, thank you, Flamingo. And what is your name, Flamingo? Your name is Pinky. That's a great name for a flamingo. So let us cut out our flamingo. And I'm going to go a little bit on the outside. Actually, you know what? I'm going to erase the parts that I flubbed up a little bit. So it doesn't look like we penciled it in. Just anywhere I might have not been on the line, we could just erase that a little bit. Okay. Back to the flamingo. The cutting of the flamingo. Have you ever seen a flamingo in person? They are marvelous birds, I tell you. The only time I ever got a chance to see a flamingo in person is when I was at a zoo in Florida. I saw a whole flock of them. And here, let's just cut this away too. It was very cool. They are really amazing birds to see in person. They're so tall. They're so tall, and they have these skinny, skinny little legs that you're just like, how is this little leg holding up this body? But, you know, their body is not too big either. If they were soaking wet, you could see that they have a lot of feathers. And birds can fluff up and look bigger than they really are because of all those feathers. Okay, try to stay on the line. If not, we can come back and clean that up a little bit if you have a little pink poking out. All right, let me just cut it here to make it easier to cut the rest of this out. Let's save those scraps for later. I'm going to start over here and do the beak. Wow, what a nice flamingo we made. Wow. Okay. All right, just clean that up a little bit. And then let's go in. This is going to be a little hard in here because it's kind of tight. And it's really skinny, this part of the neck, but I know you could do it. Just be careful. Take it slow. And if you need an adult to help you, please don't forget to ask them. Say, hey, can you help me cut this out? It's a little hard. Miss Adaria is challenging our cutting skills today. Oops. Let me see, did I cut in? Okay, I'm going from this side. Maybe make it a little easier. Cut that beak. Okay. Well, I hope you get a chance to see a flamingo in person, and hopefully the flamingos won't be at a zoo, but will be in their natural environment. You know, you could watch documentaries. You could go online and say, show me a film, a flamingo film. And I'm sure you could see the flamingos in action. They're very interesting, the way they dip their long necks and beaks into the water to get their food. And do you remember what else they ate that we learned about today? It begins with an A and ends with an E. Yes, that's right, algae. So there's our flamingo head. I like it. So here's our flamingo body. And I'm going to cut the body on a little bit of a curve. Round that corner out. You can imagine all their wonderful feathers, because they do fly. They have wings and they fly, and they look really cool when they're flying because their legs and their necks are so long. So we're going to put our flamingo head right here. And again, I would normally use glue, but because I don't want to have to sit there and hold it for 20 minutes while it dries, we're going to use a little piece of tape. And we're just going to check this out and see which way it looks better. Does it look better like that? Or does it look better like that? I think I like it better like that. I think it looks a little more natural. as natural as you can get with a paper plate and a piece of paper. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little stabilization because the neck is so long. We want to make sure it can stay up. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape right in here. And then it's going to stay up, right? You see that? And now, how about, oh, I think I knocked one of her legs off on the floor. Oh, no. You know, they have webbed feet. Do you know that? Like a duck? They have webbed feet that are pink. So I can't really make a webbed foot, but I can make a little loop on the bottom, sort of resemble a webbed foot. Let's do a little loop with this one too. All right, and our flamingo's legs are going to come off. They pretty much come out right at the bottom of their body. So we're going to put them like that. Does that look good to you? I think so. Okay, and again, I'm going to use some tape and tape these legs to the back of the paper plate. Can you see that? Oops, sorry, Dawn. So that they stay. You can hang this flamingo up if you want to. You know, you could punch a hole and put some yarn in it, some pink yarn, and you can hang your flamingo up. And last but not least, we're going to give this flamingo an eyeball. Why? Because she needs to see. She needs to see what she's eating, where she's going, her other flamingo friends. So let's put a tiny drop of glue right here in the eyeball area. And we could drop this eye down. Oop. Oh, I dropped it down on the eye part. It's so tiny. My hands aren't working properly. So here, hold on. Let me wipe that glue off. Because how is she gonna see with a big blob of glue in her eye? I don't know. I don't know. I'll be here all week, kids. Tip your waiters. So here is the eye. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Now your flamingo can see. And we might even come in here and make a sort of, I don't know, just maybe like a little wing. Just a little design to indicate some feathers. Just so she doesn't have this big pink blob of a body. And here's maybe a little thing to indicate her legs. Her neck. You can do whatever you want. Come up here and do some design like this. Flamingos are beautiful. They have all sorts of pink and red colors. So, okay. So what do you think about your flamingo? Oh, I really like it. Oh my gosh. Can we be friends? Look how long my legs are. Oh, look how long my legs are. Oh, I almost feel like the baby flamingo. I'm going to sit back down for a minute and digest all of this information. Whoa, what a cool flamingo. Did you have fun? Dawn dolls? Oh, yes. Incredible. I have never seen such a flamingo. I just want to introduce Dawn. This is the actual Dawn of the Dawn doll fame. She was the original doll, and then she had a bunch of friends, and it included this young lady here. Her name is Glory. She has red hair and green eyes. Dawn has blonde hair and blue eyes. And these were the dolls of my childhood. Yay! And do you see these spots on their knees? That's because they put copper wire in their legs so you could bend them. And after a while, the copper reacts with the plastic, and it turns their knees and sometimes other parts of their body blue. So I didn't get a magic marker on them. This is a chemical reaction. So there's your other science lesson for the day. I hope you enjoyed. Happy Flamingo to you. I hope you get to go out and see some flamingos. Get out to a zoo when it's safe to go back out again. And thank you so much for tuning in to this craft and story time. Please subscribe to our channel if you like it. And our Maker's Day is coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for all that good stuff and information. You can pick up your craft kits here at the library starting on March 10th. Take care. Peace out. Have a great day. Stay safe, everybody.